Founded in 2000, Retraining of Racehorses, ROR, is British horse racing's official charity for the welfare of horses which have retired from racing. It raises funds from within racing to provide and maintain facilities for the care, retraining and rehoming of former racehorses, and to raise awareness of the suitability of the retrained racehorse for other equine careers. Actually, we have had Murat, or Matty as he's now affectionately known, in the family for what seems like ages. Initially, he started training his career with Martin Pipe. He was bought as a French Self-Français horse who they paid quite a lot of money for him. Peter Deal owned him. He ran as a juvenile. He was placed a few times, but I think he must have been a great big gangly, immature, backward horse because he's 12 years of age now, and it's only really the last 4 or 5 years he's come together.
My husband, William Fox, but he loves to ride a thoroughbred. They've got the stamina, they've got the class with the galloping across country. And even though the sport's changed a little bit in terms of going from the long format to the short format, it still really suits the thoroughbred horse. And Park Lane Hawk, the horse he won Burghley on last year, and Rolex this year, he raced till he was 7 on the flat as a 2-year-old, and then hurdling and chasing, and then came out and won Blenheim as a 10-year-old and Burghley, and Rolex as an 11 and 12-year-old. So, you know, they're out there, the horses, and it's just a question of being in a good system, having the right support and help, which the Retraining of Racehorses gives you, to make the most of these fantastic animals who can then really excel in another sphere.
People are frightened of thoroughbreds a little bit. You know, they think they are flighty and lots of temperament, but in actual fact they're not like that. But they do a lot more work for the rider, so the rider doesn't have to work quite so hard. They're very forward-going. They love to work, and they're very intelligent animals. I mean, you'll know that from racing. You know, you can't make a horse race; it has to want to do it. And so if they can find another job that they enjoy, you know, they might be bred to race, but they perhaps aren't, that's not their bent, and so they can find something else. And this gives them a great platform from which to go forward.
Been a terrific servant to us over the years, and when he came to be retired, I had a quick chat with Frank, because I know, you know, JP loves to have all his good horses back home. And I said, look, he'd have a home for life if we could have him. I said, my mum used to ride him out a little bit from time to time, and my wife Ruth now, and they just fell in love with him. And sure enough, they rang back and said, you know, the boss would be delighted for us to have him. And then Ruth started riding him out, you know, taking the dogs for a walk over the downs, and Andrew, my head lad, used to do a lot of showing, and they've sort of taken Strawberry under their wing, and sort of they've done it between them.
I've always had show horses. We bought him to be a nanny for breakers. Jason and I do breakers. And I saw Jason riding around the school the first day we got him home, and I said, no, he's got a job to do, and here we are. I think he started 38 times, won 6 times, won about £25,000. We're still in contact with his breeder, Shirley Bailey, so she's in his fan club.
The thoroughbred horse is absolutely made to play this game. If you watch foals turned out at a stud, all they do is spin, they run, they stop, they turn, they change legs. And if you watch a game of polo, that is just recreated on the polo grounds. So I think it is a very natural game for a racehorse to play. And of course the racehorse is the ultimate athlete.
Yeah, they do make excellent polo ponies. They've got the speed, which is one of the main things. As the grounds are getting better all over the world, you need horses that can really run. And obviously they've got the agility and the sort of the turning abilities of the courtiers do as well. She came from a charity called Heroes, which is near Lambourne. Yeah, picked her up as a 3-year-old, went and looked at her, thought she was a really nice type, and brought her home. Well, technically she's a little big and a little long, but when we bought her she was sort of nice, compact, short coupled, solid rump on her and good shoulder.
Well, she's sort of got everything really that you need for a polo. She's got a lot of speed, you know, she's good stop. You know, she's a really nice horse, so difficult to fault her really.
I know the ROR do such great work getting these horses re-established in further careers once they stop racing. And speaking to Michael Hourigan about Beef Salmon, he's now doing dressage, which he absolutely loves. He's really good at it as well. And Michael's telling me that it's so good for him physically as well, because he's using muscles that were problems for him as a racehorse, and now he's strengthening up all the time. He's in prime condition. And Beef Salmon is a great example of a horse who's living a really happy and worthwhile life after racing.
Horses walking around here, like it's great for them to be able to be doing another job. People think that old racehorses are all forgotten about. But it's not. You can see people get so much enjoyment out of the fact that they can ride horses that have won races. Some of them have even won round tracks like Aintree, Sandown, Cheltenham. And to you to be able to say when you're riding at your local hunt or just having a hack round the village and say, well, this horse actually ran in the Grand National or won over fences, you know, it's brilliant.
People say horses aren't intelligent, of course they are, and you know, they love it. You see horses like, you know, I've seen Comply or Die now, he's going hunting with Timmy Murphy, and Beef for Salmon and all those big shows in Dublin, absolutely enjoying themselves, having a great time. But it's not all about the named horses, it's about horses that, you know, you and I, you know, I may have ridden sort of years ago, and they were just, you know, ordinary horses that weren't that good.
We have so much fun with them with the racing, but you know, as a sport, racing maybe historically has had a bit of a bad reputation in terms of horse welfare, but it's very much at the top of everybody's agenda now, the BHA, all the way through to the trainers themselves. And I think the trainers feel that they owe a responsibility to the horses, and the owners do now. It's not all about the money. There's very much a focus on the individual horse, and I think the Retraining of Racehorses is just doing brilliant work with getting them not to just be happy hackers, and they are. Some of them are happy hackers, but some of them are very much going to the top in other spheres.